birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Hi, I'm Faye and this is Ruby, my 1974 VW Beetle. And we are about to embark on an epic journey through Central America, all the way from Mexico to Panama. In October 2021, I bought her in Mexico City, a crazy idea that turned into reality. After looking up more bugs than I can count, I found one that turned into my travel companion. I spent all of winter driving through the lower part of Mexico, many expected breakdowns and a few mechanical issues included, until I got stuck at the border to Belize. Due to there being a delay with registering the vehicle on my name, this led to me parking Ruby for summer, heading back to Europe to live in my van and work as a music photographer for bands and artists during festival summer. But first, I had to get back to Merida, where my storage was located. A quick layover in Frankfurt before I arrived back in Cancun. An expensive extra order vegan meal along the way and a bus drive at 11 p.m. after being in Wake for 26 hours later. I made it to a host hostel close to the bus station, as I didn't want to spend longer than necessary at the Riviera Maya. I missed the initial bus into town, so had to wait for another 30 minutes, but at this point I really didn't care and was just happy to be back. Hello and good morning. I am currently in Cancun and I'm on my way to Merida in around 2 hours to go and check into the hostel that I absolutely love. I'll show you. I've been there like 3 times before, and tomorrow I'll pick up Ruby so she can get checked out by the mechanic on Friday, and then we're hopefully off to leave Mexico. Finally. So yeah. In Merida, I stayed for a few days to slow down and breathe. One night there was even a local panucha festival, a typical Yucatecan dish, and it just all felt like it's falling into place. Everything was working really well. Then it was time to pick up Ruby. A quick 40-minute local bus ride took me to the long-time storage where I parked her over summer, but I was way too nervous to film it. So I actually made it. I finally got my car back. Oh my god, it was so stressful I couldn't even film it. But yeah, it all went well. She stopped once because I probably ran off petrol, but it all worked. I made it back to my hostel. Stressful 40 minutes. We're here. I don't care what needs to be done. She has a full day at a mechanic tomorrow, and let's hope everything works out. So yeah, part 1 of like my biggest worry is done. So to my absolute surprise, it actually all car drove really fucking well, and I'm just about to drop her off at the mechanic, and yeah, this is it. Mexican mechanic, and I'll show you around. My mechanic was an absolute angel. Even cleaned the whole car and got it ready. He insisted to be in this video and show his tattoo, which just shows how dedicated people here are to those old cars and that they are very, very common here. I also finally got my new number plates put on. It took me 9 months to get them, but that's a whole other story. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make a video about buying and register a car in Mexico on a tourist visa. finally back. Like the car is driving, everything is perfect. I'm so happy. Oh my god. Today's gonna start half 1, leaving Mexico. There's a coil. Yeah, I'm now on my way to try and find a mechanic because there's no phone numbers or emails or WhatsApp. So yeah, it's been passing. So fingers crossed, because I wanted to cross my first border tomorrow, and yeah, it's a bit on my nerves. So I just got to that mechanic, and yeah, he basically said me it's busy, but there will be a mechanic only for bugs, and he told me where it is. Basically in front of the hotel, so let's hope this actually works, because it's 15 minutes back to the direction I just came from. But it would be good because it's closer to where the car is actually parked. Yeah, so always an adventure, right? So after the other mechanic wasn't there for only on Saturday and Sunday, I went back to the first with the bike, and he, after they ignored me for like 10 minutes straight, he agreed to come here in 20 minutes. So I guess we just gotta wait. And yeah, and that's good news, because I told him like, yeah, you can wait tomorrow because it will be closed in like an hour or something. But yeah, no, he was like, no, in 20 minutes I'm there. So next morning, it took them around an hour to get me a coil and points. Put it in, and we were ready to hit the road again. I couldn't believe I was really about to cross the first border. It was surprisingly easy. Everyone was incredibly friendly, and after I paid my fees, got my insurance sticker, and stamped out of Mexico into Belize, I was on my way to Lamanai. As most of you don't know my ride companion yet, I thought I'd give you a quick tour. She was built in 1974 and is a 1600 VW Beetle, Buck or Käfer. In Mexico they're called Vocho or Bocho, but every country seems to have another name for it. I'm only the 4th owner, and I had to put seatbelts in myself as she came without them. It's hard to say what has been changed over the last 48 years, but while the papers say she has a radio, there is none, but I do have an antenna. A bug is incredibly simple, mechanically and the insides. One knob for lights, speed and petrol on the display, but that's it. I still got the original 1974 air-cooled engine she got when she rolled out of the factory in Puebla, which is placed in the back, while the boot is actually in front and holds the petrol tank, the spare tire, and is usually used for tools or spare parts, but you can also fit in your backpack. Hi. So I want to give you a quick update over the past few days, everything that happened, because it was quite a lot. So first of all, this week has been crazy. I was so worried that I couldn't make it to Belize in time, about the border crossing, about picking up the car, about all the things. So yeah, as you saw in the videos prior, it all worked in the end, but there were some major problems on the way. But yeah, I'm really glad I was able to solve it all. Yeah, I mean, the first issue was obviously, picking up the car gave me a lot of stomach pain, and it all worked in the end. Like, it drove,
I've nearly ran out of petrol. I didn't. I just made it to the petrol station like 5 seconds before it stopped. I sadly didn't film this part because I was just way too nervous to even think about it. And I still have to get used to taking my camera everywhere, even if it's just a GoPro. So yeah, then this was the first issue. Then the second one all worked. I got my papers, which is perfect. I had a little heart attack on the way because there was an issue with the writing. Like, they gave me 2 cards and in one my name is written wrong, but the other one is correct too. Should all be fine. And then after that I brought it to the mechanic and it was all fine, but it just took 4 days. I had some really really calm days because I thought everything will work. I drove to Bacalar, and car was fine on the way. I stopped, but it was a very exhausting drive. Like, my brain was just fizzled out completely. I nearly lost my keys in the supermarket, as very kind man gave them back to me. I thought I forgot my yoga mat in the hostel. I nearly forgot my bum bag. So yeah. And after all of this happened and worked out and I arrived in Bacalar, I should have reparked the car. And I tried, but she just didn't start again. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, not today. I just can't be arsed. And yeah, I went to sleep. And next morning I tried again and she still didn't start. Because they checked everything. It couldn't be a tube, it couldn't be like a major issue. So yeah, we soon came to the conclusion it's probably the coil because you can't really check that. I spent all day driving around. You saw it before, getting a mechanic. Worked in the end. Next morning he came by, and I came by because he was able to like fix something so I could at least start her. It didn't sound great, but I was able to start her. And when yeah, then it all worked. Drove to Belize, got all the things I needed, except the check because it was like, oh yeah, I just bought a new coil, so fuck that, fuck the money for that. Probably not the smartest. I will probably regret this and you will all laugh about me later. But yeah, so yeah, I made it and it was a pretty beautiful drive. The roads aren't that great, but it's all working out well. Yeah, and I hope you really like this. Planning to do this on a weekly basis because I know there's a lot of shit gonna happen. I already did the first week. So yeah. Next week, where I'm going to the islands and I have to park the car for 6 days, and I've been nervous about that because it's not really safe there, but I found a secure parking. It's paid, it's not cheap, but I don't mind as long